Here in the United States, we protect predators. Apparently. Here in the United States, we protect predatory women. We protect predatory police officers. It's disgusting. Andrew Wolnez is not the first or the last asswipe to pull this bullshit. Apparently at 5 a.m. or around 5 a.m., something happened over here that I completely missed. Someone told me there was a fire, and somebody told me there was a bunch of cops over here. I didn't see none of it. So I don't have any answers. I have no fucking clue what happened. Do I follow your words or do I follow your actions? When you tell me you love me, and then you ignore me for literally years, do I believe your words or do I believe your actions? When you say that you're my friend, and then you slander my name because you didn't get what you wanted, do I believe your words or do I believe your actions? Of course, I don't believe the cops. There's an awful lot of people who believe that these predators are the good guys. They're absolutely not. If they can't find the person who did it, every cop in America knows that they can go blame a homeless person and it's a free fucking conviction. Nobody gives a holy fucking goddamn. Fuck this goddamn country. The police are predatory towards the homeless. The public are predatory towards the homeless. The courts, public pretenders, and prosecutors are all malicious towards the homeless. There is no humanity left in America. When you tell me you'll listen and then you spend all of your time talking over me, like Kayla Trujillo, or Shannon Alvarado. You're disgusting fucking people. You've done disgusting things and you have helped the world's worst pieces of shit to get away with it. Because it was just entertainment to you. You don't really care. See, this is one thing that we have all noticed about women. Women are taught that they're supposed to help by talking over us like we're retards or talking down to us like we're fucking idiots. And that's not okay. When a woman asks for a man's help, she's expecting him to actually do something other than talk over her like she's a fucking retard. She will get angry and condescending if you treat her the way that she treats you. But somehow it's magically okay, isn't it? The rules are different for her than they are for you. There's a lot of women that think that they are owed a free living once they get pregnant. Well, you're not. There are plenty of single fathers out there not getting the resources that you do. There are a lot of men out there taking care of children that are not their own, who are having to actually do it on their own, while we have given free rides to the women of this country. If a woman is predatory towards you, it's your fault for having a dick. That's what we've really taught Americans. It is not okay to be white. That's what we've taught. It is not okay to be a male. That's what we've taught. Well, you know what? That's just stupid. The majority of the black people I know in prison actually did something wrong. How true is that statement? It's not. The majority of black people in prison, just like the majority of white people in prison. Statistically, nationwide, 81% of them were homeless when they were arrested. 81%. Now we try claiming that the homeless account for 0.18% of the population, but that's not true. Just because somebody's in prison doesn't mean that they have a home. A prison is not a home. Of the 11 million people, that's right, 11 million that are incarcerated, over 8 million of them were homeless when arrested. Over 8 million. That's currently incarcerated. So our homeless population, well and truly, is around 9 million people. 9 million. Now, when you consider that incarcerating someone for a full year costs an average of $170,000, maybe you put it in fucking perspective for you. How much profit is made off of diminishing the most at-risk human beings in this country, the American homeless male. We've created a society where women, police officers, and judges have zero responsibility and zero accountability. They know that the homeless would not be homeless if they had a friend or family member who cared. A friend or family member who actually tried to understand. I'm out here taking hell from a bunch of goddamn addicts. I'm taking hell from the mental health system, from hospitals, because they all treat us like we're fucking junkies. They don't care what's true and what's not. A cop says it, so it must be true, right? And that's your fucking problem. The United States is a disgusting country. Not because of the land, but because of the people in it. And their incessant need to blame others for their decisions. Natalie Bollinger and her friends made the decision to stalk me. They decided to lie, decided to misrepresent the situation, and even worse than that, all of my disability money before Natalie was killed was spent running back and forth between Nebraska and Colorado to fucking therapists, and paying for the gas to go back and forth, and paying for rent in Chapel, Nebraska and in Englewood, Colorado. I was forced to do desperate things because literally every single one of my friends was a fucking low-down, dirty piece of shit. From Kayla Trujillo, well, Candace Bondurant, Teresa Orn, Amy and Andrew Witcher. None of these people were actually friends. They were druggies, alcoholics, drug dealers. The people that pretend to care when nobody else does. And why do they pretend to care? Because they want something out of you. Repeatedly, Kayla Trujillo said that if I went there, that she would help me. She would listen. But she wouldn't shut the fuck up. Wouldn't stop changing the subject over and over again. Hell, she even tried to hook me up with a dating site. That was her idea of helping, was to waste a shit ton of fucking time doing something that was fucking useless. I don't want a fucking girlfriend. I needed help stopping abuse, not getting my cock sucked. There's lots of people who seem to believe that getting laid was the solution to all my fucking problems. Well, it's not. Busting a nut doesn't stop abuse. Busting a nut does not stop Andrew Wolnez. Busting a nut does not stop Ted Bollinger. Busting a nut does not stop Tim Beeson. Busting a nut does not stop Andrew goddamn Wolnez. Busting a nut doesn't stop Wolnez. I'm going to say that one more again. Busting a nut does not stop Wolnez. Two days ago, I got to my vehicle. My door was closed. My electronics were on top of my car where anybody could see them, grab them, and run off with them. Turns out it was Raymond. Do I follow your words or do I follow your actions? When the rules for you are different from the rules you have for me, we're not friends. And I don't owe it to you to keep your goddamn secrets. Furthermore, I will not keep your secrets. It's not going to happen. Keeping secrets gets innocent people killed. So let's take a look at what we got going on. I found out who it was that came and stole my blanket out of my car. It was Raymond. On the bright side, he did not freeze to death. Last night, he said he'd bring my blanket back if I wanted him to. Well, I don't want him to fucking freeze to death. Yesterday morning, I went into the Safeway here, and when I came back out, there was a brand new blanket, 2 pairs of gloves, and a raincoat sitting on my driver's side seat. Let's see which one of these has Raymond in it. Perhaps this one. Let's see. Christ. Is this it? Before Natalie was killed, the problem was I wasn't being heard. After Natalie was killed, the problem was people kept coming at me and wouldn't allow me a safe place. Wouldn't allow me to spend my things, such as my disability money, on the things that I needed to protect myself. But no, all the police wanted to do is send me to mental health, and it costs a shit ton of money. And to this day, it has done nothing but cost me money. Thousands of crimes have been committed against me, and I can't even turn them in. And you tell me what a wonderful goddamn country I live in. You tell me what I owe veterans. I don't owe them shit. They're not fighting for our fucking rights in foreign countries. Fuck this goddamn country. There's a lot of nice people here. There really are. But there are way too many shitty people that are going unfucking checked. That includes police officers. What does it take to stop these people? A lot of folks in town have offered me firearms. A lot of people. Perhaps it's this one. I want to say it's about 32 minutes in. Putting battery on this phone. But I also know that when these folks fuck with me, they'll do so until pretty late in the goddamn morning. See how much battery it says I have. Well, quite a bit yet. Hey, did you come borrow a blanket yesterday? Dude, I freaked my ass off. Alright. That's what I figured. I do. Okay, cool. You still got the blanket? Yeah. Alright. That came from a lady named Miranda. You want me to tell her thank you for you? Okay, cool. I can bring that tomorrow. Do you still need it? Yeah. Well, don't fucking freeze to death on my account. Are you alright? Somebody brought me another blanket this morning. I was cold as fuck last night, but at least you didn't fucking die. You're welcome. Give me just a minute here. It'll take a minute to find a piece of paper. I can barely hear you. Yeah, I'm not able to find a pen at the moment. Oh, I just pen. Okay. Alright. Yeah, here's a pen. I do. You wouldn't happen to have a cigarette, would you? I don't. Me either. I've been having to smoke off a tobacco pipe and it tastes nasty. Do what? I just think of myself. Alright. This is from last night. Almost. Give me just a second. My fingers don't work very good. Let me get my frozen ass fingers to function. Here you go, Raymond. Yep, you're welcome. You can keep those. I'm gonna close my door though, because it's getting pretty chilly in here. Be safe, Raymond.
Okay, I will.
Yep. The reality of the situation versus the bullshit that you guys want to sell are very different. Do I believe your words or do I believe your actions? Your actions showed that your words are all bullshit. Here in America, if you're abused by a family member, chances are good that your family will do more to protect your predator than they will for you. Chances are pretty good that you, because you chose to speak up about your predator, chances are pretty good that your family is going to throw you away like you're trash. They're going to ostracize and criticize and say that you somehow must have chosen it. Kind of like the Richmond family has done to Brittany Richmond. She doesn't get to be a part of their family because she told on Mark Richmond. Brittany Richmond was underage. And her father, Mark Richmond, well, he didn't care. He didn't spend very much time locked up either. Just like everywhere else in America, we tend to give leniency to these pieces of shit. There are many male victims of long-term abuse, but you refuse to see them as victims of abuse because they're male. You want to get angry because they didn't use the right word. We got people who say unalived. That's what the internet has done. See, here in the United States of America, censorship is supposed to be illegal, but it's not, is it? Police officers can do and say whatever the fuck they want with impunity. You goddamn right I speak up. Somebody has to. Nobody else is up to the task. You're always too busy, and if you're not too busy, you'll make an excuse of being too busy. If you give a shit about your friend and they tell you that they are being harmed, that they are being assaulted, and you take your dear sweet time giving a shit, it shows that you don't give a shit. So don't fucking lie to me. Brenda Dickinson said she thought of me as a son. But as soon as Natalie disappeared, that all went out the window, and she showed what complete bullshit she was full of. Of course, this woman had also, on more than one occasion, sold me under the fucking bus because she didn't want to tell her husband the truth. Well, she talks about being a good Christian woman. Well, a good Christian woman, to be honest with her husband. But she didn't marry her husband because she loves him. It was a marriage of convenience. And also a marriage of harassment. Her husband's family harassed her over and over and over until they got married. So Brenda Dickinson is married to somebody that, yeah, she sort of loves. She married a bully. Between telling the truth and allowing me to be bullied by her husband for work that I did, things that I earned, promises that Brenda Dickinson made and did not follow through on. Why didn't she follow through? Because she didn't want to have that argument. She said some battles just aren't worth fighting. Well, unfortunately, that battle was fought either way. Dennis Dixon would come home. I just did a full day of work over at Brenda and Dennis Dickinson's. But Brenda doesn't want to tell her husband that. Instead, her husband comes in and demands money because I drank coffee and ate food. God, poor him. And then I'm supposed to keep it a secret because she wants to keep it a secret from her husband. Well, that's not very Christian, is it? If you're keeping secrets from your husband or your wife, you should not be fucking married. If you're going to tell me that you think of me as a son and then you're going to throw me under the bus. I spend a full day over at your house working. I get paid $40. And I got to pay over that $40 to Dennis because Brenda won't fucking speak up. It's not the fact that the battle wasn't worth fighting. The battle was going to be fought anyway. Either she should have and could have been a good Christian woman as she claims and told the truth, or she could simply let him bully me until he gets what he wants. There's a lot of people mad at me because I told their secrets. Well, it's not their secrets. It's their excuses for never coming forward. You say, oh, I can't. I'm sad because my grandma died. Well, okay. How long does it take you to get over that? See, I had to pull on my big boy panties when Natalie died. Because Natalie wasn't the only person missing. Mandy Singer's son, Ryan, was also missing. And Shauna Sinclair's daughter was also missing. And while Natalie's friends and family went out of their way to tear my life apart, both before and after her death, not a single one of you pieces of shit gave a holy fuck. You wanted to argue. You wanted to tell me what you tell all men. Oh, just forget about it. Don't worry about it. You shouldn't care what other people think. Just ignore it. Why don't you move elsewhere? Do I follow your words or do I follow your actions? Well, your words are actions. Your lack of give a shit is absolutely a choice that you made. Brenda Dickinson made that choice. Officer Lynn Lothman made that choice. Officer Martinez made that choice. Officer Waylon Lolatai made that choice. The choice to be predators. Not just predators, but the worst kind of predators. The ones who pretend to care. Lothman didn't pretend to care, did he? Nope, I've been here for 14 months. Myself and my property have been assaulted at least 50 times since I've been here. Then there's the harassment. I was not allowed to speak up in court Matter of fact, I was prevented from even going to my court dates. If you are proud to be an American, I'm disgusted by you. The same as I am disgusted by Brenda Dickinson. Who was my pot salesman in high school? Brenda and Dennis Dickinson. Who sold pot to my little brother Michael in high school? Jeff Luchterhoose and Amanda Engeline and her mother, Lana Engeline. Who was my older brother's pot dealer in high school? Brenda Dickinson, Dennis Dickinson, Doug Cowden, and a guy named David Roop. In Chapel, Nebraska, just like everywhere else in America, it doesn't come down to who's right or wrong. It doesn't come down to who's got evidence. It's come down to popularity. Who wins in court? Overwhelmingly, over 90% of the time, the person who wins in court is a person who has money. Whoever has the most money is going to win. The only exception to this is the family courts. That's because if we held women responsible for their actions, and we actually gave responsible fathers those children instead of letting junky women take them, then the United States government and its people would have to pick up the tab. And nobody wants to do that, especially right now when it'll break the bank. You know what's really breaking the bank? The fact that incarcerating a homeless person for 1 year is enough to pay for housing and that homeless person's expenses 6 times over. That's right. You can get 6 homeless people off the streets for the cost of incarcerating 1 for a year. Whatever happened here this morning, I have no fucking clue. I had to hear about it secondhand from people who wanted to know if I was aware of what happened. I got no clue. Maybe somebody will fill me in. Maybe they won't. Maybe it'll be in the newspaper. Maybe it won't. One thing I can say for certain, however, is that nobody's going to take the abuse against me seriously. Especially not those who took part in the abuse. Is Brenda Dickinson going to be a good Christian woman and admit that she fucked up? Or is she going to hide behind evangelicalism and pretend like she can commit every sin under the sun? And when she dies, she's still going to heaven. There ain't no heaven for people like you. You have a chance here on earth to repent. Repenting doesn't mean sinning over and over and over again, and then pretending that you believe in God. And right before you die, because you're afraid of the possibility of hell, you pretend to give a shit of Jesus. No, you're afraid of hell. I've read the Bible and it covers that. The moment someone tells me that they're evangelical, I already know their quality of person. I already know the content of their character. I still give them a chance. And every single time they show me Exactly what I expect out of them. Bullshit. When your daughter is raped, do you try to turn in the rapist, or do you tell her to give it to God? When your son is molested, do you try to turn in the molestation and the molester? Or do you tell him just to ignore it, just to let it go, just to move somewhere else? My so-called friends could have helped me in person before Natalie was killed to stop the abuse. They could have helped afterwards to stop the abuse as well. But what did they want to do? They wanted to lie to me, cheat me out of resources, and then play victim after they'd done such fucked up shit. Well, hell no, I don't owe it to you to keep your goddamn secrets. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Jesus the Nazarene himself. If keeping your secrets gets people harmed or killed, fuck your secrets. If Jesus had been on Pearl Street in the 7 years that I spent passing out blankets, if Jesus had shown up and was in danger of freezing to death, I would have given him a blanket. However, if Satan had shown up and was in danger of freezing to death, I'd have given Satan a blanket too. I don't believe in a God. I only believe in the possibility of a God. But not one person who claimed to be a Christian has shown me that they actually believe in any such creature. Every single Christian that I've encountered, every one of them, has shown me that their deity is nothing more than an excuse for cruelty, stupidity, and inaction. Finding a Christian who doesn't use the religion as an excuse to look the other way, it's not going to happen. The Bible is an excuse, just like the Quran is an excuse, just like the Torah is an excuse. This superiority bullshit. Christians have been persecuting non-Christians and Christians alike for about 2,000 years. 2,000 years. You cannot erase 2,000 years of the most cruel actions ever committed on this planet. You don't get to erase that entire history by playing stupid and pretending that you give a shit about some imaginary space wizard. The devil did not make you do the evil shit that you did. Those were decisions that you made. And both your Jesus and your Satan are exactly the same thing. Excuses. Excuses why you shouldn't be held responsible for your actions. Excuses why it's always someone else's fault. It's Jesus's fault. It's Satan's fault. Satan made you do it. In Jesus' name. No. No, he didn't. And every single person who has told me that I shouldn't care what other people think has showed 100% that they absolutely care what other people think. On the bright side, I didn't make you a coward. You did that on your own. Good to be rid of you. Thank you for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and your sister's too, and no victim left behind.